Hello and welcome to Football Night New York, Living Room Edition. I'm Jeane Coakley alongside Ralph Vacchian. Ralph, training camp has wrapped up, and I guess it's just you and me today to talk about. Everybody else is on vacation.
That's fine with me. It's a perfect way to break into the season.
I love it. All right, let's start with the Giants. They added a guy to their depleted secondary in Logan Ryan. This is a guy who was rumored to be that the Jets wanted him. They agreed to terms to a one-year deal up to $7.5 million. What does Logan Ryan bring to this Giants defense?
Well, he brings a couple of things. One is versatility, which is obviously significant, considering they are down on the number of cornerbacks that they have. They lost DeAndre Baker when he got arrested. They lost Sam Beal when he opted out on the 2020 season. They're down safeties. They lost rookie Xavier McKinney to a foot injury. They needed help at both those positions, and Logan Ryan has been a cornerback, has played safety, wants to play more safety, so he can do that. But it also brings some veteran experience. They really don't have that. The oldest guy they have there is James Bradbury, a free agent that they brought in. He hasn't been around nearly as long as Logan Ryan. Everybody else, they're basically kids. So this is someone that Joe Judge knows, can teach a system, can teach the way Joe Judge likes to coach, and can just bring a perspective that a lot of the Giants players just don't have.
And Ralph, he's only the third player since 2000 to record at least 4 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, and 4 interceptions in one season. So they're getting a really good player.
They are. He's a heck of a player. He's a guy that he had a good season last year for the Tennessee Titans, was a good player for the Patriots before that. And he's a guy that a lot of teams looked at in free agency. The Jets, as we said, looked into it. The Giants have been talking to him for months. The only issue with him was price. He was looking for $10 million a year. Nobody wanted to go that high. He wanted to wait to see if he could find that price. He never did. Lowered it for the Giants, and they get what they think is a bargain.
All right, let's stick with the Giants because, Joe Judge getting a lot of heat, during this training camp that he's tough on the guys, make him do push-ups. But he had a little fun earlier this week. And Ralph, you just saw Joe Judge, chasing loose balls, coaching it up with the guys with a hose, playing in the mud, guys laughing, having fun. What's your overall impression of Joe Judge?
My impression of Joe Judge is this. He is a hard-driving coach, old school. Yes, his practices are tough. His methods are probably not what a lot of players are used to nowadays. But he does it with a personal touch that I don't really know that I've seen that combination. He is getting his players to like him and respect him and maybe fear him all kind of at the same time. And I think that, to me, is what gives him a chance to succeed. He's not just being a jerk, barking orders, screaming at them, and making them run penalty laps. He's taken the time to talk to them, to explain why he's doing things, to get to know them, and to have a little fun with them, too.
Can you imagine Bill Belichick doing that?
No, although they apparently used to run that drill up in New England, but I don't think Bill Belichick ever got dirty for them.
All right, let's head over to Florham Park. And I think the biggest concern I've seen with this Jets team is their wide receiving position. They can't stay healthy. What's the latest with that group?
Well, it's bad. They are hopeful that the receivers that are injured, Denzel Mims, the rookie who's had a hamstring injury, Brashad Perryman, who's had a knee swelling, they're hopeful that those two guys in particular will be back and will be ready for the opener. But the problem is they've lost about 5 or 6 other receivers along the way as well. And now they're picking up guys like Dante Moncrief off the street who just, could help a little bit, but aren't starting caliber players anymore. The Jets have missed so much time with this group that you wonder, what is the timing of this offense going to be like? Sam Darnold hasn't had a chance to work with his top 3 receivers on the field at the same time at all during training camp. Mims, a rookie, he's going to be completely lost, you would think, when he comes back. So it makes you think that this offense is just not going to be exactly what the Jets hoped when they finally kick off the games for real.
Time now for What Are the Odds? And we are zeroing in on Jets tight end Chris Herndon. His receiving yardage total for this season is 600.5 yards. So if you think he's going higher, take the over. If less, choose the under. Either way, it's $110 to win $100. So, Ralph, I have to ask, Herndon, is he the X factor for the Jets offense?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Adam Gase has talked about that a lot this summer. He sees a ton of potential in Chris Herndon. He wants him to be a big part of the passing game. And let's face it, now he needs him to be a big part of the passing game. It's basically, Jamison Crowder is the only stable weapon that Sam Darnold has. You can't rely on the other receivers to be healthy or to be up to speed. We don't know exactly what role Le'Veon Bell is going to have in the passing game. It'll be somewhat significant, but Herndon is the guy that could be the mismatch on the defense, a guy who can stretch the field. He can be a possession receiver. He can be a little bit of everything, and I think they're going to use him like crazy. The only catch with him is there is Ryan Griffin there, who's a pretty good tight end, so they may split their duties, but I think Chris Herndon is going to emerge as not only the number one tight end, but a number one option for Sam Darnold this year.
And Ralph, we saw what Chris Herndon and Sam Darnold did their rookie year. I mean, it's going to be real fun to see them back together for year 3. I actually caught up with Herndon earlier this training camp to get to know him. Time now for another edition of Getting to Know You Living Room Edition, and I'm joined with Chris Herndon. And Chris, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, first question. What was your favorite toy growing up?
So it wasn't really a toy, but I had this like a 4-foot all red Crayola crayon that I stashed my money in, and I kind of, every time I came home, I'd either have some loose change or some quarters or something. I just toss it in there. So watching that pile up growing up was definitely my favorite.
Do you still have that red crayon?
Yeah, I have it back home.
I love it. All right. The one chore you hate doing.
I actually don't have a chore I hate. I'm a huge advocate of like a clean house, and I take pride in that. So I actually love doing chores. It's kind of weird.
You like the dishes and doing laundry and all that stuff?
I love it. Every single day.
Okay. All right. I hear you. I don't actually hear you on that one. All right. Your favorite quarantine activity, and you can't say working out.
Favorite quarantine activity. So I have 2 dogs back home, 2 golden doodles, one big, one small. They're brothers. Periodically, me and my siblings, we'd go take them in the backyard and do a little in-home training with them. And that's kind of how we bonded with ourselves and the dogs too. So
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. You're in the Winter Olympics. What sport are you winning a gold medal in?
So first, my favorite video game, I didn't like sports video games growing up. I like a snowboarding game called SSX Tricky. So I feel like I was really good at that game, and I definitely go gold in that.
No doubt.
No doubt.
All right. If you could be any fictional character, who are you going to be?
Growing up, my favorite character was Scooby-Doo. I was obsessed with him. I had a whole bed set, blanket, sheets, pillows with the pillow covers, so definitely Scooby-Doo.
Don't lie, you still have that set, don't you?
Yeah, it's stashed away though.
All right, my final question. What was your favorite gift you ever received?
My favorite gift would have to be my Bible that my grandma made for me right before I went off to college. She got my name and all that engraved into it, and she's really good at giving gifts to where, it's not always the most expensive or the flashiest, but it always has a lot of meaning. So before I went to college, she had that for me, and that's probably one of my favorites.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, Chris, it was great getting to know you.
Thank you. No worries. I had fun.
And Ralph, we saw Chris Herndon in his red Crayola piggy bank. You saw Mekhi Beckham. Do you think he has enough money to buy the big ticket necklace?
I bet he does, but boy, I hope he has something better to spend that kind of money on, like, I don't know, a house, a car, or something like that.
You can get a necklace like that, Ralph, for only $175,000. I'm sure you can get it on sale.
Yes, absolutely. I'm sure you can get a much better one for $400,000 too.
All right, for Ralph Vacchiano, I'm Jeane Coakley. Have a great week.